Okay, here is today's opening. How many moles are in 127.5 grams of sodium chloride? I encourage you to use a calculator to figure this out. I haven't taught you how to solve this kind of problem, but I want you to try it anyway. I want you to spend at least 3 or 4 minutes seeing if you can figure it out. It would be great if I could teach you how to do this today, but it would be even better if you could figure out how to solve this. So please pause the video, spend 3 or 4 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, see if you can solve it, and if you can't, I'll show you how to do it. Please pause the video now. Okay, we're back. How many moles are in 127.5 grams of sodium chloride? Well, we want to go to our periodic table and find the atomic mass of sodium. We want to find the atomic mass of chlorine. So here they are. Sodium has an atomic mass of 22.990. That also means that 1 mole of sodium weighs 22.990 grams. Chlorine, 1 gram of chlorine, or 1 mole of chlorine, weighs 35.453 grams. So sodium chloride has 1 sodium, 1 chlorine. All I need to do is add those two numbers together, and I get 58.44. That means that sodium chloride has a molar mass of 58.44 grams. That also means 1 mole of sodium chloride weighs 58.44 grams. What's 1 mole? It's 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. So 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of sodium chloride weighs 58.44 grams. All right, let's talk about conversion factors. Hopefully there's been a math teacher in your past who has already taught you conversion factors, and this is just a review. But if you've never learned it, today's the day. Conversion factors. So 1 mole of sodium chloride weighs 58.44 grams, so we can express that as a conversion factor. In fact, we can express it as two different conversion factors depending on the situation that we need. So we can say that 1 mole of sodium chloride weighs 58.44 grams. We could also say that 58.44 grams of sodium chloride is exactly 1 mole. So here's conversion factor number 1. Here's conversion factor number 2. In certain situations, you're going to want to use this conversion factor. In other situations, you'll want to use this conversion factor. All right, so let's look at the problem one more time. How many moles are in 127.5 grams of sodium chloride? So 127.5 grams, I want to multiply that by something. I want to multiply that by a conversion factor. What I want is for grams to cancel out. Let's go back. How many moles? We're solving for moles, and we have grams. So we're solving for moles. We want the unit to eventually end up being moles, and we want grams to cancel out. So I'm going to choose a conversion factor where grams cancel out. I want grams to be in the denominator. This number, whenever you multiply a number by a fraction, this number gets multiplied by the denominator. So it's ultimately going to be 127.5 times 1. This 127.5 is going to end up here. And then we're going to have grams in the denominator and grams in the numerator, and that means grams cancel out. So grams are going to cancel out when we do this kind of multiplication problem, and all that we're going to have left is moles, which is good. That's what we want the answer to be in. We want the answer to be in moles. So I'm going to do 127.5 times 1 mole, and that's going to equal 127.5 moles, and that's over 58.44. Where's grams? Well, remember earlier that grams cancel out. If you have grams in the numerator and grams in the denominator, then grams cancel out. They get removed, and all you have left is moles. So how do you solve a problem like this? Well, this fraction tells me that it's a division problem. 127.5 divided by 58.44. I put that in my calculator, and I get 2.18172 moles. Now let's talk about significant figures. This has 1, 2, 3, 4 significant figures. the denominator has 1, 2, 3, 4 significant figures. So I want my answer to have 4 significant figures. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to keep these numbers and get rid of the rest. This 7 indicates that we round up. So it becomes 2.182 moles. That is my final answer. How many moles are in 127.5 grams of sodium chloride? The answer is 2.182 moles. It asked for how many moles, and my answer was in moles. And I got the right answer because of conversion factors. All right, next problem. Let's do one in reverse. How many grams are in 2.182 moles of sodium chloride? Originally, we're asking how many moles. That was the opening today. And now we're going to do the reverse. How do we find out how many grams are in something when we just have the moles? So again, you need your periodic table. You need to look up sodium chloride. We figured out earlier that 1 mole of sodium chloride weighs 58.44 grams. So we end up with 2 conversion factors. 1 mole of sodium chloride is 58.44 grams, but 58.44 grams of sodium chloride is also 1 mole. So we want to pick a conversion factor, either this one or this one. This time we're going to pick the second one because we want moles to cancel out this time. So if I use this conversion factor, we have moles in the denominator. This would put moles in the numerator, and they would cancel out. So moles get canceled out, and it becomes a multiplication problem. I guess that's not too surprising if we're doing the reverse operation. If we're solving for grams this time, it's going to be the reverse of what we did earlier. Earlier we did a division problem. The reverse of division is multiplication. So this becomes 2.182 times 58.44 grams. Moles are canceled out, and we get an answer when we put this in our calculator of 127.51608. Since we have 4 significant figures here and 4 significant figures here, we want to round to 4 significant figures. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like we're not going to round up. We get a final answer of 127.5 grams. The end.